men, and I use Determine a Manly Way again today. We're working on this thing. Got the oil tank and such arranged yesterday. It's time to take the seat off, take the fender off, see how fucked up this thing is. I think its position needs to be adjusted. It needs to get dropped down in the front, maybe dropped a little bit in the back. This cutout over here, this used to be on a big twin at one point in time, or at least it was intended for a big twin. No reason you can't use it on a Sportster other than you got this extra cutout. This is kind of an economy build, so I'm not going to be trying to, patch a piece in here to make it look normal. I'm going to talk to the owner. I might just cut this all off right here because there's some cracks on the other side. So anyway, let's get this off and we'll see what we're dealing with. Seat's going to need a new bracket. And I've been kind of waiting for this. The broken dog collar license plate frame is going to become history. Into the trash it goes. This is kind of funny. The license plate has got a big crack in it over here and a big crack in it over here. And it's not unusual when you got a license plate, flapping a breeze like this. So the license plate has been held together with the old standby duct tape. You gotta love it. Necessity, the mother of invention. Okay, and this builder did one of the things I say I never do, although I try to do it once in a while, is there's nuts on the back of these little bolts that hold the fender on. So you got to be able to get under the fender to hold the nut. When I redo this, there will be nuts welded to whatever ends up being the reinforcement behind the fender so that you don't have to get underneath there with a wrench. Yeah, I'm thinking the fender needs to sit more like this, but we'll work on that in a minute. Let's see what kind of shape it's in. Alright, I think I'm going to shit can the fender. I mean, yeah, I can make it work, but by the time I weld up all the little holes, scrape all the paint off, fix a couple dents, those fenders are probably $100 at my labor rate. The guy's going to be dollars ahead just to buy a new one. Now, this is kind of interesting. They, well, apparently there must have been a sissy bar extended up over here because this has been cut off with a hacksaw. And then you got this flat piece. Well, they cut it in two, welded this over there. This could have all been one piece. I don't know. Anyway, except for scrap metal, pretty much junk. Alright, we're going to change direction a little bit. Just talked to the owner. He's good with buying a new fender. What he wants me to do is get a fender, get a new gas tank, and he's going to take them to somewhere, either a body shop or somebody he knows does body work, and they're going to paint it. So I have to get a gas tank, have to get a fender, have to get it to fit. And gas tank is going to be interesting. this is a high tunnel tank mounted high on the frame. Because the front end has been raked, I suspect that when the front end flops over, it's going to want to hit the gas tank. The gas tank is as far back as it could go, and it's hitting up against the seat stops. They actually drilled another hole about 3/4 of an inch behind the regular mounting hole. I'm supposing to get clearance with the front end. So I'm probably going to have to pull it off of my lift, put a new gas tank on it, see how close I could get it to the front end with the forks turned all the way one way and the other without hitting, before I drill holes to mount the tank. I think Sportsters look better with a high mounted tank, but this one's going to need to be as low as possible to clear the front end. So we're going to take the gas tank off and get ready for that point in time that I have to fit a new tank on there. As a matter of fact, I might get it off the lift and play with this one to see what I think will fit. I don't know if I'll do that today or not. Probably not. But let's get this gas tank off and get it out of the way. Okay, the bike has no fork stops. You can see what the issue is here. Not a lot of room left over there. And I'm going to put a spacer under the head of the bolt, probably about an inch off of the frame. And you can see the wheel is damn near sideways. The bike doesn't have a lot of lean to it, so the kickstand is going to get made about a half an inch shorter, maybe 3/4 of an inch, because it really, I mean, it's leaning a little bit, but it's kind of precariously balanced there. Could be a little more stable. This would be a perfect candidate for internal fork stops, but I've installed those on the rat rod, and they work good, okay, but they just have the feeling to me that they could easily shear off. So we're just going to put a hard stop bolt sticking out of there, and that'll be the fork stop. Here's the bushing I made. Made 2 of them, one for each side. We'll put these on, see how they work. Okay, I reevaluated how I want to position the stops. And, you know, it's a little goofy having them up here, but, you know, I'm more concerned about function. You know, function has got to be more important than how it looks. But anyway, this one on this side is not screwed down. It is just being held in position by the weight of the fork, squeezing it between the fork and the frame. This one was positioned the same way. And what I just did was, while it's squeezed in there, I got something inscribed a circle, and then I, you know, turned the fork the other way, came back and just eyeballed the center, punched it, drilled it, and tapped it. So that's how we ended up with it over here. And now I could see them both in position at the same time before I drill and tap this hole. So I've got them pretty well lined up. I'm going to scribe a circle around this one, and then I'm going to drill and tap it, and I should end up with one that's almost exactly in the same position on that side as this one is on this side. Final configuration of the fork stops. They line up pretty good. Maybe not exactly even, but pretty goddamn close. Hit the tube right in the center. We'll flop it over the other way. Hits the tube in the center going the other way. You can't ask for anything much better than that. I may even decide to weld those on once I get the frame sandblasted and start welding on this thing. May actually weld those in. A little on the ugly side, but I like them that way. Well, I don't like them ugly. What I like is that they're perfectly functional. And functional is going to win out every time if I'm building a bike for you. So simple, relatively cheap, never will break. That's the way to go if you ask me.